Welcome to Reggae Storm Radio. It's Monday, August 29. It is such a pleasure to be hosting such a remarkable panel this evening. It's gonna be great. We're live on Reggae Storm Radio. We're live on Facebook, Kambusta Several Figures fan page. The topic this evening is teaching Zulu language in Jamaica. Isn't that interesting? So we have a great panel that is going to be joining us in a second, momentarily, right? So we're making our way right now to get everyone on board. Be a great evening. If you're joining us on Facebook, welcome. If you're listening on Reggae Storm Radio, welcome. This is DJ Kambusta. We have a great show lined up, and we will be introducing our panelists in a moment. All right, make sure you share the live if you're on Facebook. Share the radio link. Without any further ado, I would like to welcome my panelists to the show this evening. Remember, the topic is teaching Zulu language in Jamaica. This is going to be interesting. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Good morning, good afternoon. I know it's already morning in South Africa, and we have one of our panelists all the way from South Africa, Mr. Menzi Mezuiko. Welcome to Reggae Storm Radio this evening. How are you doing?
Greetings, Sunny Bona. I'm doing well, and how are you?
I am doing well, and I just learned my first Zulu word. So, how did you say? How are you again?
Sawubona.
So if you're Sawubona.
Yes.
So if you're listening on Reggae Storm Radio, Kambusta, just learn how to say greetings in the Zulu language. It is such a pleasure to have you, Mr. Maseko, all the way from South Africa. It's great to have you. Also, we have on the line Miss Elizabeth Barnett, and she is joining us from my home country, Jamaica. Welcome to the panel.
Simona.
Yes, someone.
We're talking just Zulu right now, you know. And how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am well. I'm learning, you know, and it's such a pleasure to have you all with us this evening on Reggae Storm Radio. And also one more panelist, Mr. Errol Harvey, and he is with us from Germany. Welcome, Mr. Harvey.
Blessed greetings. We are Germany.
It is a pleasure to have you.
It is great to be here amongst my family, you know?
Absolutely. That is what we are. One family. All right. So we have three guests three guests right now, or three panelists with me. One of our panelists, unfortunately, she is not able to come on. Circumstances beyond her control. Miss Itisha Fraser. So we just wanna mention that, and for her to get well soon. And next time she will definitely be on the panel. So we are also live on Facebook, and I just want to welcome my Facebook audience to this lovely discussion. If you're just joining us, welcome, welcome. We will be discussing, teaching of the Zulu language in Jamaica. And Zulu language is, originated and originally from Africa. So Mr. Menzi Mizeko, you are a teacher and interpreter from South Africa. For our listeners and viewers, I would love for you to just give us a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay, I am Menzi Maseko from a province called KwaZulu Natal. The Natal part is more the colonial part of the name of where I'm from, but KwaZulu is the original name. It's on the southeast coast of Africa, South Africa, which is often called Azania.
Azania.
So yes, Azania. Whereas the name Azania, of course, is it comes from the Zanj Empire, those defenders of African sovereignty of ancient Tanganyika and the land called Zanzibar. Even the word Zanzibar is kind of like a derivation of Azania again. Yes. But it also, the name also appears in the Bible, in the ancient scripture. But in a political sense, Azania basically means the land of the blacks, or the land that God has heard. And I'm a teacher in Zulu, and I am a communications specialist, and I do translation, amongst other works, and I'm a cultural activist.
Okay, wonderful. So many accolades behind your name. Now, you said you're a teacher of Zulu. Is Zulu the main language where you are from, for those who don't know?
Well, the language of isiZulu is spoken by 66% of Southern Africans. By Southern Africans now, I mean the people in South Africa on the East Coast, in the land of, on the source of the language, which is part of the, what is called the Nguni languages. It's one of the biggest languages that are spoken by Nandi, Mkabayi Zulu, King Shaka Zulu, and many other conquering kings who defeated colonialism in many years ago. But it is also spoken in Eswatini, it's spoken in Zimbabwe, it's spoken in Malawi and Mozambique. So there are parts of, in Zambia also, there are pockets of Nguni speaking people in all those parts of the world.
Wonderful.
So Africa, or Southern Africa.
So you said 66% of Southern Africa speaks
66%. You see, South Africa specifically has 11 official languages, where you find isiZulu, English, Afrikaans, Sesotho, Tswana, and many others. But isiZulu, in every province, you will find someone or a population that speaks isiZulu. It's the second biggest language after English.
The second biggest language after English. So much information, so much language. And we learn every day, so it's always a great thing to know. And I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Maseko, for giving us that information. Now, we're trying to send the language to Jamaica also, because when I was in school, they never taught Zulu in school. And so many of our listeners and our viewers right now can say yes, can attest to that. So it is such a great thing to know right now that this is something that is, being done in Jamaica. So I just want to move to another member of the panelist, Mr. Errol Harvey, who is with us right now. And he is one of the founders, or the person who came up with such an idea. And I want to say welcome again, Mr. Harvey. He is the CEO and founder of the NGO Center of Jamaica Culture and Development, GUG, in Germany, and also a member of the management team right here on Reggae Storm Radio. So, pleasant welcome again, Mr. Harvey.
Thank you very much, madam. Thanks for having me, right, and give us this platform that we can share our knowledge and what we experience through the colonialism. Saying, yeah, and as I already done, introduce, declare everything to the world that I am the founder of the Center of Jamaican Culture, so I don't have to go through that. Thank you very much for helping me out. All right, you know, to me personally, living here in Germany, born and grew up down here in Jamaica, and I see it's very important, right, that Africa is a part of I and I, which I and I never they choose to come to the Western world. Right. We come by force, right? Yes. Right. So I think it is right for us to take that part to learn more about where we from, where our ancestors from. Yes. Same? Absolutely. Right? Yes. Right. So our prime goal is to help ensure that the youth across Jamaica extend their knowledge, culture, awareness, skill, and worldview by learning other languages and get insight of foreign culture, especially our ancestor culture. You see what I mean? Yes. You know, since we never choose to come to the Western world, so right now it's our desire now to learn about our ancestor culture. Right. Right. Yes. And so, and that end, if you notice the title of this project, it means cultural bridge, language spreading. Cultural bridge, language spreading. Very interesting. And the language, and the language with an S. Yes. Yes. That means that it is not only one language. You know what I mean? Yes. There's an S. So on that point, it is the duty of the Jamaican government to assist this historic cultural project. Yes. Yes. You know, because the Jamaican government and its people, top income is tourism. Right, so tourism, yes. Right, so when tourists know that in Jamaica, language is no barrier, then they will choose Jamaica as their tourist destination. Right. You know? Right. Because this project is adding to the list of the items that encourage tourists to come to Jamaica, such as the clean, warm water, the fresh air, good sunshine, and the upright treatment. Right. You know what I mean? Yes. Just like what Bob Marley did with the reggae sunsplash in those days in Montego Bay, when tourists from all over flapping coming to Jamaica. Right. So we the Jamaicans have to come up with some substantial project like this to entice tourism to come to Jamaica, which is our top income. That is right. That is correct. Right. So on that side, on the other side now, concerning our roots, our ancestor culture, right? Yes. The Rastafari who preaching repatriation, compensation, all this decorated speech what they love to give in university and the sideways and whatsoever when they're on stage singing, especially the Rasta reggae artists, them, you know, talking about back to Africa and these things, right? Yeah. Well, this project, while we're talking, this project is a part of to fulfill their words what they're talking. Right. So I think every black man in the Western world to see to it that this project be successful. Absolutely. Right? Yes.
Yes.
Because the language is one of the key part of repatriation. You know?
Yes.
You know, because repatriation is just not just leave Jamaica, the Caribbean, and go to Africa to live.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
We have to, as man say, you have to repatriate to mind everything.
Everything.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so this language will give us the sense of African pride. You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Reinforce our identity and dignity.
Yes, yes.
And stop the United Nations and the European Parliament from calling us and brand us as West Indians. Right? I cannot look on my black brethren and sister in Jamaica and say them are Indian. That's a big violation of human rights. If they accept us as human beings.
Right. Africans, of course.
Yes, Mama. So this is the, you know, we want to see that Jamaica become the first country in the Western world.
Right.
Saying have an African language as an official language. And we not stop. Baba Menzi and the whole team with Empress B and Sister I Queen and the rest will not stop until this comes to the fulfillment.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan, and I'm on board with you guys. Thank you so much.
And Sister, yes. So thank you very much for having me here, Mama.
It is a pleasure, definitely. If you're just joining us, we are having a lovely panel discussion. So the cultural bridge language spreading, that's the panel discussion we're having right now. Teaching Zulu language in Jamaica. How exciting is that? A lot of us didn't learn any African language in school. You know, we learned the French, the Spanish, and all the other languages, but, you know, we did not get a chance to learn that. So my panelists on the phone line this evening, they're talking to us about such an important step. You understand? Communication is the key, and if we were to go back to Africa, you definitely want to know at least one of the languages, right? All right, so we have one more panelist to introduce, Miss Elizabeth Barnett, President of the CDC Manchester in Christiana, Jamaica. Welcome again, Empress B. Welcome again.
Greetings.
Greetings.
It's really a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful, and it is definitely a pleasure to have you because you're where the groundwork is happening. You're actually in Jamaica. My other two panelists, one is in Germany, one is in South Africa, but you're actually in Jamaica, and that is where we want the language to be spread. So it is definitely an honor and a pleasure to be talking to you from, you know, Jamaica right now.
Thank you.
So tell us, how is it going? How is it going down there, Empress B, with this great initiative?
Well, we have been doing a test run for the last 2 months. We've met up with some obstacles, but we're still continuing. We have here quite a few young persons that is willing to learn another language.
Yes.
I think it's very important. I think it's very good.
Yes.
Because at one stage in my life, I used to be able to speak a few languages. I'm not going to say the number. Since I've returned to Jamaica, because I have no one to exchange with, I have lost it.
Right.
And it is very nice to be able to speak another language.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yes.
You learn a lot.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I think it would be very good, just like what Brother Errol said, for the tourists.
Right.
Because instead of us trying to, and this is what I find a lot of people do, try to imitate the foreigner. I'm using that word. I will use that word. they can talk to them in their own language.
Yes. Right.
As you must realize, I have an English accent. That's because I grew up in England. And this is why I can say about people trying to imitate us.
Yes.
We, the travelers, we don't really want to hear an imitation. We want the people to be themselves.
Right, right.
So we can learn.
Right.
So it is something that is important to us, especially in Christiana.
Yes.
I have quite a few people, and also the schools are getting involved.
They are great. That's good to know.
They are.
Yes. So what's the age group that you're kind of, targeting right now? Or is there not a direct age group?
Well, to tell you the truth, I think my belief is it's like a home.
Yes.
Where do you learn from, first of all?
From
your home.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So, I tell the persons or anybody that is interested,
Yes.
you want your child to learn it, you also learn it.
You also learn it. Good. So now we get
Yes,
the parents
as
involved.
the parents.
Yes, that is definitely a good thing.
Because, the children today, say for instance, you say to a child, go and get me the pair of shoes from outside.
Right.
Now they learn a different language and they start to mumble in the different language.
Yes.
You, the parent, don't understand.
That is true. Right.
So you learn as well. Not only that, it is also helping the child to learn.
Yes.
Because you're speaking to one another.
That's true. So
Right?
the parents is learning, the child is learning.
Can correct you if you say something wrong, and you can correct the child if they say something wrong.
That is true. That is true. So it's not a one-way street. You need the parents to learn the language. And this is for any age, and we are never too old to learn. True. Never ever too old to learn. Because I definitely want to learn this language. Because I work with a lot of, South Africans, but I never really got a chance to, learn the language. But now, every day I go to work, I'm going to make sure that I learn at least one or two words. So, by the end of the year,
you feel a joy when you realize that you can actually talk to someone in their own tongue.
That is true.
Or in our own tongue.
That is so true. That is definitely true. All right, so if you're just joining us, we have a panel of guests with us here on Reggae Storm Radio, and also with us on Kambusta Seven Figures fan page on Facebook. I just want to welcome one and all. We're talking about teaching the Zulu language in Jamaica. All right, and it's not just for students, all right, so it's also for parents, because it's not a one-way thing. We need parents to be able to, speak the language to their child and vice versa. So, Mr. Menzi Maseko, back to you from South Africa. You're definitely an interpreter, a teacher. Why is this project so important to you?
The most important part is what Mama B has just expressed,
Yes.
I understand the part about tourism. That's very important because it's an economic value.
Yes.
And we know that language is a carrier of culture.
Yes.
And culture is what brings people together.
Yes.
Culture, music is part of culture, language, poetry, storytelling, all these things. Eventually, with this language bridge, with this Zulu language lessons, you may find in a few years' time a poet emerging out of Jamaica writing in Zulu.
Wow.
A young lady or a young man emerging, or even an elder person emerging writing Zulu poetry or writing creating a Zulu reggae song that takes over the world.
Yes.
And people, when they ask, where is this song from?
Yes.
It sounds like it's Jamaica, but they're speaking in Zulu.
Yes.
How is it that they're speaking in Zulu? And they trace that origin towards the fact that there is a particular school of thought, or there is a particular movement teaching isiZulu as a language to the people of Jamaica.
Yes.
But now, for me, the most important thing is what Mama Empress P said.
Yes.
Owning the language. She said our language.
Yes.
It is not somebody else's language. It is English is the language that we all use, but it is not our language.
Right.
You know, we may be proficient in it, we can write beautifully in it,
yes.
but at the end of the day, it is not the language granted to us by the Creator.
Right.
The Creator gave us the language. Now, do you know what the word Zulu itself means? The word Zulu, it means the heavens.
The heavens.
Yes. It basically, it carries even not just the history of the Zulu people on earth, but it also carries the history of African people and their origins in the heavens.
Yes.
Now that's a deeper story that we will need a different time and space to just explain it,
yes.
because it is deep and it's very old.
Yes.
So in this very language, let me tell you something very sacred also about the Zulu language. There is something called the Nilotic Meridian, or the Golden Meridian. It's a line, it's a ley line, what they call L-E-Y, a ley line. Yeah. This ley line moves from Zululand, where I was born in Kwamashu, in a township called Kwamashu in Durban. This ley line moves from Durban all the way up to the Giza Pyramid, the pyramids in Egypt. It's one line, it's called the Golden Line.
Yes.
You see, so basically language has traveled back and forth down the continent of Africa. Yes. You can find ancient Egyptian words that sound exactly like Zulu, and you can find Zulu words that sound exactly like ancient Egyptian, yes. and they mean the same thing. It's not just a similarity of word, right. It's the same thing. Yes. One of the most famous ones is the word Ankh. The word Ankh comes from the word Nuka. To Nuka is to inhale, or to inhale life.
Yes.
In Zulu you say Nuka. In ancient Egypt they said Ankh. Ankh. The same letters, yes. just moved in a different way, but it means the same thing, yes. Eternal life, yes. Given through breath. Yes. So that's the cultural and the spiritual and the economic value of learning this great language, which is basically one of the greatest, most poetic languages ever spoken.
Great. Wow. This is so interesting. I want to start my classes right now. Welcome to everyone. We're having this wonderful discussion. And what I want to know, Mr. Maseko, what is the connection, like with the African and between the Africans and the Caribbean in terms of, learning? Do you think that people are, based on your experience, do you think they are really interested to learn this language?
I think Jamaicans, I think are interested in connecting with Africa.
Yes.
And as my colleague, as my brothers and sisters have already mentioned,
yes.
Connecting to Africa is not just about moving your body to Africa. Right. Even Marcus Garvey himself said, you can move somebody to Africa, but if their mind is not transformed, if their mind is not decolonized and Africanized, there will still be a problem in Africa. And you can move someone from Africa to Jamaica or to the Caribbean, and if they move to the Caribbean with a colonial mentality, yes. It's as good as no African has moved there. So to be African is to actually embody yes. the principles and the values, yes. like respect, like self-love, like self-knowledge, yes. like respectful nature in the environment, right. and respect for women, yes. especially putting the mother at the center, make matrilineality, not matriarchy, matrilineality, knowing that through the mother everything comes. So these are the values that are carried in the Zulu language through our proverbs and everything. So in learning the language, you also learn the culture and the values and every word that comes with that language. Right. Now, in learning all that, the most important thing about language is that you must put it to use. Right. Mama B already said, you have to The family it's something that the family must use. If you alone are sitting with your books, learning and reading Zulu and enjoying yourself, there's no value there.
No.
What is valuable is when the children, the elders, and everyone in the family begins to use the language. Then it becomes currency. Because language, just like energy, just like money or any currency, it is a form of exchange. Communication exchange, interpersonal exchange, interspiritual exchange. Because in language, all these things are carried. In the loss of language, we lose all that. In the regaining of the language, then you regain the things that we have lost. Just like the Ghanaian brothers and sisters say, Sankofa. Go back and fetch what you have lost so that you can build for the future.
Build for the future. Wow, this is amazing. Interesting, very, very interesting. Now, this topic is really, really interesting to me and to my viewers on Facebook. I see a lot of people writing, different comments, and they're very happy. I just saw someone wrote that in school, all she learned was, European history. So a lot of things were not, taught to us back then when we went to school. So this entire movement and initiative is really, really something that everyone, if not everyone, is definitely looking forward to. And I am glad that, you came up with this. So Mr. Harvey, how long ago have you, thought about this? Because I know that you didn't just think about it yesterday and it happened overnight. So how long did it take you to think about this entire project and put it actually, into gear and have it started?
Yeah, around 15 years ago, I came up with a project named Reggae for a Cause.
Reggae for a Cause, yes.
Reggae for a Cause, and I made a flyer.
Yes.
With thanks to my graphica.
Yes.
Saying my right hand here in Germany,
right.
Ras Marcus. I know you listen to us. Right, and all good things, Ras Marcus. Saying,
yes.
Give thanks for the support over the years, my brother. Saying, it's a very close brother. Saying, alright. And this project was for to bring certain amount of consciousness amongst the reggae artists, them to return Ghana. Is a project between Jamaica and Ghana to visit a place they call Door of No Return.
Yes.
Right? But I never get no support for that.
Yes.
Right? So I just use that fight and start a new project like the health center, what I'm trying to build now in Lynn City area, and it moving slowly, and here come the coronavirus thing started, and I looked, and when I saw the television and stuff like that work for children stay at home and they cannot go. When I start to figure out what can I do, so I came up with this project now, and but we start out with the European language like that, Yeah. Then one day I figure out, no, at the same first project what you was doing in Africa, or Ghana, and that you must draw back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I say, yeah, I read. And then I reach out to Sister B,
yes.
Empress B,
yes.
Miss Bennett, right?
Yes.
Miss Bennett, and we start work on it.
Yes.
So it took us around nearly 2 years like this.
Right.
Right. And until we reach out and Baba Menzi,
yes. Yes.
come in and we just get it going. And I hope this project can stimulate the consciousness of our black people in the Western world, especially the Rastafari people who talking about back to Africa and repatriation, and those regular artists who go in on stage and hear Selassie, bonfire and all these things. I hope this project will stimulate their consciousness, because to what I saw here in Europe, these reggae artists, my condolences go up right now to one of the Israel Vibration members passed away a few days ago. Sorry. You know? And my condolences goes to his family. See? Because I saw, and it come to my knowledge that the reggae artists must support slavery. What they are doing is nothing towards the things what they're talking about, like repatriation or Selassie or whatsoever. Nothing concerning to that. It's all about supporting, using reggae music to support slavery. Right? And this thing what they call career. There's nothing in career. Right? God Almighty is like you have a child and you send your child to a shop, give him $10 and go to shop, go buy a pound of flour. See? And as you get out of the street, you start boast after throwing them. So you have money. See? Yes. And when he come back home, he don't have nothing to show you, because he show up to and his friends on the street that he have money, and he take the money spent on different things from what you told him to buy. Okay. Right? So the same thing with the reggae artists. There's nothing in your career. Almighty God sent them on a mission to deliver his people out of the hands of Queen of England and Pope Paul. Right? And as soon as they get a tour or whatsoever, they start calling themselves superstar and all kind of something, and start working for Jah and talking about their fans. You know what I mean? Right. And the duty what they're supposed to administer is total material things. See? Yeah. And that's why right now when you look in Jamaica, you find that even in the Rastafari house, name any one of the house that function without problem. And that shouldn't be. The Bobo, the 12 tribe, the Naya Bing, the Ata, all of them. See? Pay corruption and violence, everything, because everything is gone out of line. You know, so I hope and I pray this project will bring back, stimulate their consciousness, right? And bring them into the line that we can save our children to come, so they're not taking up going against them one another, and have that consciousness who they really are, the queens and kings of Africa. You see what I mean? Yes. See what you mean? Yeah. Absolutely. So, as I see, you know, and a person, you know, I was born in slavery, and grew up in this colonial society, you know. So, you have to, what do you call it? You have to forgive me when I speak in this way, you know, because, sister, none of us forget that the war between Ethiopia and Europe is ended long time ago. No, the Pope does not satisfy and will not accept the defeat what he gets in Ethiopia. You see what I mean? But he is fighting very hard in this time to destroy the movement of Rastafari. We can connect it to his imperial majesty by any means necessary. You see what I mean? But we, the Rastafari conscious one, have to show the Pope and the Queen of England and say, go on yourself. You know, see, the country of Africa stand dominantly.
Right. We're speaking to Errol Harvey right now. We're learning a lot, not just about the Zulu language, but he's giving us a lot of information. Let us just break a little. I just want to play this song. Just a little break we're going to take. You understand? And just welcome everybody who is locked into Reggae Storm Radio and who is locked in on our Facebook page right now. Mama Africa, Mama Africa. Garnet Silk. Welcome to everyone right now who's locked into Reggae Storm Radio. Blessings to everyone who is locked into Facebook. We're having a great, interesting conversation this evening, teaching Zulu language in Jamaica. Mama Africa. Blessings to everyone on the line right now on Facebook and also on Reggae Storm Radio. Back to our panelists. Now Miss Elizabeth Barnett, Empress B, on the ground in Jamaica. We're so honored to be speaking with you this evening. I want you to tell us about physically how does the project work?
The project works like this. We actually do the teachings online.
Yes.
On Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yes.
It's for 1 hour.
So Wednesdays and Thursdays. You said,
sorry?
You said Wednesdays and Thursdays, sorry?
Wednesday and Thursdays, yes.
Perfect.
And they will, after they have done the course, the full course,
yes,
persons will receive a certificate.
Yes. Wonderful.
So it's another way, it's another language, it's another let me say this, feather in the cap.
Yes.
Again, those of us that has this language, we can become interpreters.
Yes.
For those who do not understand. This can cause you to end up anywhere else in the world with your mother tongue.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. That is
you
right.
know, and it also it's another way of teaching us to be proud of who we are. You know, there was a song years ago by James Brown. Mm-hmm. Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Yes. Yeah, that's me.
Black and I'm proud. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, we are black by nature, right, and we're proud by choice.
Right.
So we are supposed to enhance our color. What a lot of young people seem to think is, you know, the blackness is holding you back. Mm-hmm. That is another slavery mentality.
Yes.
Well, now learn the language, learn your language, and see how far that will put you.
Yes. Learn the language.
Right? Because yes, because you'll be able to communicate with your family.
Yes.
Albeit distant family. Mm-hmm. in your mother tongue. You'll be speaking their language so that they can understand you as well.
Right, yes.
You know, you will be able to switch from both English to Zulu.
Right. And that is great. Yes, absolutely.
And again, it will be another enhancement for the tourists. Mm-hmm. Right? Because, okay, so you're working in a hotel.
Yes.
And say for instance the manager cannot speak the language, you're there. And you can say, look, he ordered 3 fries.
Right.
Baked chicken. You understand me? Or he ordered cornmeal with steamed fish.
Absolutely. You're able to translate. So isn't that something great?
Yes, or he ordered yam and whatever else. Right, because you'll be learning all those things in the language.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it's important.
It's
very important. I mean, we start to teach our children from in the womb. Right? And one of the things that we were taught is take away the black man's language, turn them against one another, and we have them.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
It's very true.
It is.
Because we are so much against one another where our language is concerned.
Yes.
Let us go back to, they say back to Eden. Let us go back to Africa and learn.
Yes. Right. Absolutely. That is so true. Welcome everyone if you're just joining us. So this is an interesting panel discussion that we're having right now. We're teaching the Zulu language, that's the topic. Teaching the Zulu language in Jamaica. It is such a great topic because a lot of people are definitely going to be interested. I know that we're going to have the phone lines and everything ringing off, and a lot of people will definitely, be calling in after the show to find out how can they help, how can they learn, and all of that. I can feel that because this is definitely something that people is going to be looking forward to. So Mr. Maseko, again, if you're just joining us, Mr. Menzi Maseko is on the line from South Africa. And he is actually a teacher and an interpreter over there in South Africa. So definitely he's on the line with us also. What is your aim, Mr. Maseko, from all of this?
Well, the aim is to assist. I have 3 aims. My first aim is to assist Jamaicans to speak the language of their forefathers and their foremothers.
Yes.
That's the first aim. And the second aim is to assist Ubaba Errol Harvey and his associates to achieve their noble dream and their noble goal of building this cultural bridge and spreading it. And the third aim is a divine order to serve Africans, to serve your fellow Africans in the great work. Now, when I speak about the great work, I'm speaking about something that includes Zulu, it includes the language, but it also speaks about the spiritual power of the language. And with spiritual power, like let me put it in Marcus Garvey's words, it gives you confidence. When Marcus Garvey says without confidence, you've already lost the battle. But with confidence, you win before you even start to fight. So the acquisition and the knowledge of ulimi is a word that means tongue. Ulimi. The acquisition of ulimi Zulu, the knowledge of the Zulu language is just one great aspect of the first phase of a longer journey of repatriating your soul to the land of where everything began, every civilization began. So if you want to be part of that heritage, both as a participant and as a builder of a future Africa that is actually wealthy, that is proud of itself, that has self-knowledge, self-confidence, self-determination, you have to acquire the language. And with acquisition of the language, then all the other steps follow. So the main aim is to actually fulfill the dreams of our forefathers who said that Africa will rise. Many African elders and great mothers like Mbuya Nehanda of Zimbabwe, she said that The colonialists may kill me now,
Yes.
but these bones will rise again. So we believe that our ancestors were right when they said these bones will rise again.
Yes.
So now we are the ones that are rising now, making sure that as we rise, we lift. One of our great mothers said, every time when you lift, when you are lifting yourself up, and when you are improving yourself, whether economically, health-wise, psychologically, you must lift as you rise. You can't just rise alone.
No.
If you rise, you must lift as you rise. It's part of the values of the Zulu language system. It's part of a great universal language system. Just one last thing. You know, Zulu language is so great that there are societies formed around the language of the Zulu people, but yet those societies don't speak Zulu. Once upon a time in like the 1980s,
yes.
Africa Bambata established something called, Bambata is a Zulu word, by the way, but this hip-hop artist called Africa Bambata established a movement called Africa Bambata and the Zulu Nation.
Yes.
These guys called themselves the Zulu Nation. They dressed themselves like the Zulu Nation, but they never spoke the language,
yes.
which is rather strange. They had the outward appearance of being like Zulu,
yes.
but they did not have the language. Now the language is the heart, it's the lifeblood of the culture. So my aim is those three aims plus those others added together. Ashe.
Mr. Maseko, you speak so passionate, and that is what we appreciate. One of what we appreciate you for, the way you talk about this language, because some people may just look at it, oh yes, it's just another language. Africa has another language. It's not just another language, just like that. You speak about how connected, about the culture, everything. When learning the Zulu language, what it will bring out. And you speak so passionate about it, and this just draws so many people like myself to the interest of learning, because learning the language, you're learning about the culture, you're learning about the history, you're learning everything. So this is such a great thing, Mr. Maseko, and we just want to tell you thank you so much for taking on this great initiative and volunteering to help fellow Africans that is in another part of the world, because Jamaica definitely, I see, probably it could be shorter, but I see the next 5 years a lot of Jamaicans speaking our language, and I'm going to say our language because it's a part of us, we as Africans, Zulu language.
Yes, this is our language. This is our language. Just to brief something I need to tell you.
Yes.
Did you know that the publications of Marcus Garvey in the 1920s and 30s, they first, before they touched other parts of Africa, they first came here to Southern Africa, and one of our elders used to translate them into Zulu.
I never knew that. I'm learning today.
His name is Makema Fuse.
Yes.
Makema Fuse wrote a book called Black People and Where They Are From. He wrote it in Zulu, and it was later translated into. But Marcus Garvey's works, the publication that he used to publish, I forgot the name of the publication, but he used to have this paper. It used to come like monthly or quarterly, and every quarter it would reach South Africa. And it was one of the, how can I say, the influences of the Pan-Africanist movement that caused the liberation, that is a great part of the liberation of Southern Africa, now, and the rest of Africa. So Marcus Garvey's, the cultural exchange is not just one way. It's not just me giving Jamaica something.
Right.
It is Jamaica itself has always been connected with South Africa in many, many ways, even after Marcus Garvey.
Yes. So true. So true. Definitely. Welcome everyone. We are speaking to Mr. Menzi Maseko from South Africa right now, teacher and translator. We're talking about teaching the Zulu language in Jamaica, and this conversation is so important and so interesting, because there's so much that we're learning, our viewers on Facebook and our listeners on Reggae Storm Radio. So much we're learning that we did not know. So you're shedding a lot of light right now, Mr. Maseko, and things that, you know, were unknown to us. And it is great because, you know, we can never stop learning. And it is definitely a great thing for us to be learning all these things about our language. Because as I said, we're owning it right now. Let us just take another short break while we get into the meat of the matter and to learn how you can also get involved in this great project that has already started in Jamaica. You understand? So many people are so interested. Yeah. Back to Africa, David Da Costa. Back to Africa, David Da Costa. If you're just joining us, this is a great conversation. We have our panelist right now, Mr. Menzi Maseka. He is a teacher and interpreter. He's on the line from South Africa. We have Miss Elizabeth Barnett, president of the CDC Manchester, Christiana, Jamaica, and Mr. Errol Harvey over there in Germany, the CEO and founder of the NGO, Center of Jamaica Culture and Development, GUG, in Germany. So welcome one and all, everyone on Reggae Storm Radio. Welcome to those who are on Facebook. It's a great discussion and we're learning so much right now. Now, Mr. Harvey, right back to you. You heard about the passion, which you should have already known since, you asked Mr. Maseka to join this great movement. The passion that he speaks about when he talks about the Zulu language, and how it's not just a language, it's a culture, it's everything about our people. How do you feel right now to know that you have came up with such a great project?
Madam Cam.
I know you feel
I have to laugh because I feel joyful. And the man say, he that seated in heaven shall laugh.
Yes. Yes.
So, because as Baba Menzi said, mention about Marcus Garvey to South Africa and the words of Marcus Garvey liberated West Africa, Terrafan and Wade, and then the West Africa, the whole of Africa, right?
Yes.
But many people forget.
Yes.
See? Mm-hmm. Many people forget that it was Jamaica and Cuba together defeat apartheid system in South Africa.
Yes.
And then the rest of the world take credit for it. Right?
Yes.
But that's why when Mr. Mandela came out of prison, he chose Jamaica and Cuba first, right, out of all the members country of the United Nations.
Yeah.
He chose these two specific countries to visit first and come and thank us. Not only the Prime Minister, the government of Jamaica, but also the people.
Yes.
Especially the reggae artists.
Yes.
Because in those days, if you're not singing about freedom of Mandela, people just look at you like, you're not saying nothing, or you're not conscious, or you're not serious.
Right.
See?
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So in this time, if you look and see, that relationship between South Africa and Jamaica is diminished. Right?
Yes.
So what we are doing now is to give that, build back that relationship and give it some momentum.
Right.
Because to me personally, you can't talk about freedom for Africa if you don't talk about Jamaica. And you can't talk about freedom for Jamaica if you don't talk about Rasta. And you can't talk about freedom for Rasta when Rasta themselves now see that consciousness, that because no one can bring freedom to us,
We have to bring it for ourselves, yes.
You get what I mean?
Yes.
And so the whole idea of freedom for Africa, see, it rely on the consciousness and the movements of Rastafari in Jamaica.
Right.
Because if you check it out, in South Africa, over 4 million Rasta live in Jamaica, in South Africa right now, See?
Yeah.
And in Jamaica, the population in Jamaica is less than 4 million, less than 3 million.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
See? So the movement of Rastafari, see, is very strong. And just the Rastafari in Jamaica don't know the authority and the duty what they on. And so the whole thing, what is going on now in Jamaica, see, is just because the ship don't have a compass. It's just sailing on the water going. So Jamaica is like a little boat on the Caribbean water, just boxing here, boxing there. And the captain don't know what to do. The captain jump with material rems. You see what I mean? You know?
Yes.
Then dilute the captain, junk him off. And that's going on in the Rasta community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's where you are stepping in now from Germany to help to lead the way with your initiative.
Me not leave nothing.
All right.
Me not leave nothing. This project, I said, is to stimulate the consciousness. Give them when somebody jumps, saying, and you throw water upon them, I squeeze line and then say, saying, then come back consciousness, then come back conscious, you know what I'm saying? So this project is to bring them to that conscious, that weakness there,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
So they can focus on the duty, because not everything, because Marcus Garvey said this, Haile Selassie I said this, Mr. Howell this said this, and that is it.
Yes.
No, that is not it. The work is still here to done.
Yes.
You see what I mean? So this project is to bring back that consciousness. What is the movement of Rastafari?
Yes. Wow. Great project. You heard it from Errol Harvey himself. Absolutely. And, we just want to, say thank you so much. And I want to thank Mr. Maseko, who was on the line, but, he has to leave a little early. It's very, very late in South Africa also. So, Mr. Maseko, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the Reggae Storm team and everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the panel this evening. Your work is great. Your passion for what you do, it speaks volume. And we just want to tell you to, continue to do the wonderful work you're doing, Mr. Maseko, because we as a people, we need people like you who is, motivated and want to help so bad and want to make sure that our language is not lost, because the Zulu language, we're owning it right now. All right. So Miss Barnett is still on the line from Jamaica, Christiana. Let us know. There's another question that popped up just now in my head, and I wanted to know how many schools are involved right now in this project. Are you starting off just with schools in Christiana and then move into other parishes? How is it going in that regard?
Well, we're having a discussion right now with 2 schools, one primary school and one high school.
Yes.
Then we're going to work with other schools as they get involved. And this came through the CDC.
The CDC, yes. Wonderful.
Yeah?
Yes.
Which is the Community Development Committees.
Yes.
So, and this is just in Manchester. So if there's anybody else that is interested anywhere else, hello, you need to get in touch with Manchester.
Yes. So it's in Manchester right now, but it's open to the entire, 14 parishes, definitely.
Yeah, this is something that it would really, really be good to know yourself.
Right.
It is really a part of being conscious of who we are and where we really come from, our history.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's all it is. And being able to reunite yourself back to our ancestors.
Absolutely. Yes.
Because that is something that was taken away from us. And like you said, one of the persons you said that wrote in.
Yes.
We're taught Spanish, we're taught French. Right? We are Africans.
We're never taught any African language. Yes.
We were never taught our language.
Right.
So that we have a choice. The Chinese, they teach their children Chinese. And today, even if they're here in Jamaica, they speak Chinese to one another.
That is true. Yes.
So why can't we speak our African language to one another?
Right.
Yes. But it's and our language is beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yes. I just learned some words today, and trust me, it makes me want to learn so much more. Quick, impress me.
Hello, come and join.
Absolutely. I am the first. I'm definitely the first, yes, to do so. No, I'm not sure who will be able to answer this question. Probably Mr. Harvey or yourself. One of the aim I know is probably you'll be thinking about like probably student exchange, because wouldn't that be great if when the language is taught in Jamaica, then probably some of the students can get to actually visit Africa, like a little student exchange program, in regards to this whole concept. I'm not sure if that is something you're thinking about, Mr. Harvey.
Yes. Yes, we have discussed that to the fullest.
Wow. Wonderful.
We were saying the same thing.
Yes. Wonderful.
And maybe even other talents.
Yes. That is something.
Right over Brother Errol.
Yes, you're right, Sister B, you're very right. Because what's already written in the concept that anyone that passed the A1 or A2 level in Zulu language will be chosen and over to their you have many exchange program, student exchange program, UNICEF, and many others, we just hand them over to them, and then they could fly to to South Africa, right?
Yeah.
For one 6 week or 2 months like this or whatsoever, you know?
Yes.
And then students from South Africa fly back to Jamaica, you know what I mean?
Right.
And because they said, you know, experience teach knowledge, you know, so we have to build upon that relationship between other countries and Jamaica.
Yes.
Because as I mentioned in my opening speech, that we want Jamaica to be the #1 tourist destination. So when Jamaica is friendly with our country in the world, you know, then Jamaica will stand shining on the hill.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
You know, and so we don't want people to just look on Jamaica as a violence place,
right,
and free to come to Jamaica. We don't need that.
No.
We need people, hustle and bustle every day want to go to Jamaica. Yes, I mean, you know?
That's it. Yes.
You know, and so this is what we are fighting for right now, sister.
Yes.
You know, we're not no individual profit, man, nothing. We're talking about that whole family. You know, that whole family thing, Jamaicans. You know, because it make no sense. Me live in one 10. We have 3 children and my wife. Right? Five of us live in an apartment, 20-25 room and all kind of something, and I have 6 cars, and my neighbor them can't go a bed without food to eat.
Right.
See? Right. So these things will never solve the crime and violence and you know, and just not do it. Right. See? So we have to set up on a level that everyone fully understand who they really are. Saying that they are kings and queens, and if you are kings and queens of Africa, then you are on the same level.
Right.
Yes, some of you do that.
Yes.
You get to my driver. You know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes, and that's why this project is very important to I and I. You know what I'm saying? And this project is overdue to, you know, sis.
It is.
You know? And I hope, take for instance, sit back for a while. The 7th of September last year, 2001, the CARICOM leaders and the African Union, they have a summit, they have a summit, right?
Yes.
And what they was basing on all the time, sis, is trade. You know, what we're talking about, you know, the CARICOM leaders.
Yes.
And the African leaders of the summit.
Right.
And their main focus is on trade. And you know that we, the enslaved people, when we hear about trade, we supposed to become nervous.
Right.
Because it's the same trade thing bring us into the Western world.
Right.
Right? That's 400 years ago.
Yeah.
And in this dispensation of time, when we hear the same leaders talking about trade that are supposed to sit comfortable with us. Right? They don't even mention a language what can bind the people together.
Right.
But then, you know, that they can understand each other, that they can communicate tight together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so, but I hope that they are listening to us. I heard about this project and give us moral and financial support.
Right.
So that their people, sons, you know, our ancestors, you know, sons and daughters can inherit and learn more about our roots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so as I said, this project is overdue.
It is.
But it's very difficult, right?
Yes.
When the ones them, like our government,
yes,
have no interest for their people to learn more about who they really are.
Because that was my other question. I was going to ask you about the support that you're getting from, from the government and, even the entertainment industry. Have you reached out to, to anyone, Minister of Culture, to, show them that your proposal, your idea, and how they can, help you to make it, a reality and make it bigger? Because I know you've already started. So additional help is definitely welcomed, I'm assuming. And I know you will definitely need help. So how is the support coming on, Mr. Harvey?
I have a contact to the Minister of Education, right? And as I already suggested to the panel, to the team in Jamaica, and we, as I said, we are on the testing, like a 3-month or 4-month testing right now, right? And to find out the internet connection and the speed and, build up that form of relationship, understanding amongst the South African teachers and the people, and, build up acquaintance, between. And then after that, when we fully agree, say yes, then after which the official class will begin. Right?
Yes.
And then we'll reach out to the ministers and even some of the Rastafari community and artists, because you will have enough artists out there, saying we want to support this project, even during the class stuff,
Absolutely.
And so we just have to do it step by step, get the things in order, get the website, the cultural language spreading website itself built and stuff like this, and then after now, then we can reach out to sponsoring and stuff like this.
Okay, so the website is not fully built or finished as yet.
No,
okay.
but the Center of Jamaican Culture and Development website already built, long time running. See,
yes.
That will be the mama website that is there.
It's
see.
Yes. Right. So people who want to assist can reach out to that website, through that website.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just repeat the website for us, for the listeners, please?
Sorry to come across. Could you repeat what I said?
No, I was just asking you to repeat the website, so that because we have a lot of people listening right now on Reggae Storm Radio, and probably they would like to assist with this movement.
Okay, www.centerofjamaicanculture.de. Center of Jamaican Culture.
Yes.
.de.
Thank you so much, Mr. Errol Harvey. Thank you so much for that information. Very, very vital information. Now, Miss Elizabeth Barnett, I have this question because I'm sure somebody's thinking about it. The project just started, a couple months ago, and after people, go through the class, they will definitely get a certificate. Is there a time span for you to get that certificate? How long will it take?
We have not actually sorted out like whether it's a 3 months or a 6 months course.
Okay.
That is one of the things that we, because of the problems that we've been having with the internet. We cannot, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, and sometimes when we have the weather here, the internet just literally cuts out.
Right. So you're using Wi-Fi, but the weather is affecting it, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
Yes.
So, but obviously we are working on a limit.
Yes.
Which would most likely be, because we'll be doing it with the schools as well, it would be more or less running on the same program that a school year would be running at. So it will be like from September to June.
September to June, yes.
Mm-hmm. Because obviously it will take longer, it will be more intense.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So they will be able to pick up on what they have missed. If they've missed one lesson, they must be able to pick up with the other, pick it up at another time.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That sounds great. Welcome to everyone. We are definitely having a great discussion discussing teaching Zulu language in Jamaica. You know, Zulu is one of the language used in South Africa. So definitely this is a great discussion. So Mr. Harvey, to wrap up, what would you like people to know about this initiative that you probably have not mentioned yet? So that the many listeners that we have on Reggae Storm right now, to those who will see this live on Facebook because it's shared many, many times, what is it that you want people to know about this remarkable project that you have come up with?
Yeah, I want them to know that this project is for them.
Yes.
And this project is here to help them to get to know who they really are.
Yes.
See, it's their own, as Mama Empress B said, you know, our language.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Our thing.
Yes.
And it is for them. It's for ours, you know. Right? And so just feel free to join the class and get more knowledge about who you really are.
Right.
You know, because it's your tongue. Speak it.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to speak your own language.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. It's better, the man said, you should be afraid to the new place where you're going, and not the new place where you're coming from.
Right.
Not the place where you're coming from. Right?
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
So this language we was taken away from this language. Right?
Yes.
And bring to English and Spanish and all this language which is not belong to us.
Right.
It's not a part of us.
Right.
Right? So please join the class.
Yes.
Contact Sister B,
Yes.
Sister Cambusta, and me, Errol Harvey,
Yes.
right? Baba Menzi,
Yes.
right? And join the class and get more knowledge about who you really are.
Yes. Absolutely. That is definitely amazing. And Miss Barnett, Queen Empress B, if you know, what would you like to say to our listeners right now?
You're never too old to learn. Come and learn something new.
Yes.
Pick up where we have lost, what we have missed out on.
Yes.
What has been taken away from us.
Yes.
We know where we have been. We're not going back there, but we want to learn about where we come from. We need to know more about our history.
Yes.
And to be able to enhance ourselves
Right.
even better, to make us stronger and better.
Yes. Absolutely.
United we stand, divided we fall. We've already been divided.
Yes.
So let us stand now together and link our chain. A chain is only as strong as its weakest. The weakest link will break us down. But if we continue to bind one another, we are still strong.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Powerful, Empress B. Powerful. I really, really appreciate that. Now, Mr. Harvey, before we go, this is just the first of many more panel discussions that we will be having how often do you plan to, give the listeners an update of what is actually happening in regards to where this project is coming from?
Man. We plan to inform the public as much as possible.
Yes.
Full transparent with the public.
Yes.
Yes. Because as I said, it is not individual thing, it's for the people. Right?
Yes.
And so the people have to get informed about their own thing.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And that is our duty to inform the people about their own thing.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
And so they can look coming up. It's a pity that Sister Empress Queen is not here. Sister I Queen is not here. Yes. Through some illness. Yes. Right? And I pray that he can recover as quick as possible.
Yes.
So in the next panel, he will be, for sure, he will be here.
Right.
To give more information about the project. Right? And other participants as well.
Right.
To come in and give. So anyone out there living anywhere in Manchester, St. Elizabeth, Clarendon, St. Catherine, want to join the team, just be a part of the team.
Right.
Send in and get 5 persons with you, then you can be on the panel to discuss and share your experience and share your wish.
Yes.
What you want to see happen, because this, as I said, it's not for one person, it's for us all. Same?
Yes.
So if you can guarantee that you can get 5 persons or 10 persons to join the class, then you will get contact with Empress B, Same?
Yes.
And Sister I Queen, right? And then you will be a part on the panel the next time.
Yes.
Right? Because that's how we are doing. This panel is not only just between me and Baba Menzi from South Africa and Empress B. No. It's for you also, it's for her also, it's for him, it's for them, it's for those, it's for us all. So if you want to be on the panel, just put in your work and come on the panel and
Yes.
Explain what you want to be done for your country, Jamaica, and the relationship between Africa.
Absolutely. This sounds amazing. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Errol Harvey. Thank you so much, Empress B, Miss Elizabeth Barnett, and thank you, Mr. Menzi Maseko, who was on earlier from South Africa, definitely. And unfortunately, we did not get to speak with Miss Itisha Fraser due to circumstances beyond her control. And we just wish for her speedy recovery, and we will definitely catch up with her on the next time. Well, this was a great discussion, a great panel, great topic, very interested. And I'm sure we will be getting a lot of calls and a lot of people who are, very interested in joining this and being a part of such a great movement. So on behalf of the entire Reggae Storm team, we just want to say to our panelists, thank you so much for joining us. Continue putting in the work, continue doing what you're doing to help us as a people, as a nation, as a culture, because indeed you're doing very, very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
And we have to thank you very much, Sister Kambusta, to be our captain and, to steer this panel, right? And I feel very positively that the next time it will be even much better.
Yes.
Because them said the first was a little difficult, so we find out what can be done better, and the next time we do it best.
Yes, definitely. We're always here to learn and to grow. It is definitely. And Miss Elizabeth Barnett, it was such a pleasure talking to you. Finally getting to talk to you.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much. And we will talk.
Definitely. After. Yes, and I want to talk in Zulu to you.
Hello.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Sister Cam. Thank you very much. Yeah?
It is a pleasure. Thank you.
And Sister B, enough honor and love.
Love, blessed love.
Blessing.
Yeah, man, a unity breathing up.
Unity is definitely strength. And thanks to our listeners on Reggae Storm Radio. Thank you to my wonderful Facebook peeps for keeping it locked right here on Reggae Storm Radio and watching and listening and learning this interesting panel discussion. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and keep it locked right here on Reggae Storm. Have a good evening. Good night.
I am